Good afternoon, YPG! Good afternoon, YPG Nation!
Hello.
Hey, may the Spirit of the Almighty God bless all of you, YPG. Once again, we are here with our YPG program. Assistant Serafina, she's there with us, and also Auxiliary Pastor Judah. We have a program today that's going, I can say, to open the youth's eyes. Yes or no?
Open in truth, Pastor. Today the topic we have is block life. The block life, the ghetto life, where we reach out, and we're going to speak to you more about this block life.
Yes, we have the topic that's talking about block life, but also we have different things. Today we are going to talking about what's going to take place tomorrow. Yeah, by the way, let me show to you a little piece from everything that we are going to have here today in our YPG Pro. Take a look, I'll be back with you in a few.
Things were much different now for Damian Jackson. His family had lived well in Miami, a lifestyle paid for by his mom's job with the mafia. But when she started feeling pressure by the police, they fled to a poor neighborhood in Georgia when Damian was 7.
1, 2, 3, come on!
Very well, very well. In few minutes, you are going to watch this video and also the other one, because although we are in this lockdown 21 days from Monday, but the youths, they are at home, but they still the vibes. They don't kill the vibes.
They're not killing the vibes at all. The more time that they spend at home, you're seeing they're sending videos, they're sending chants, they're making up masks, all kind of thing they're doing.
They are doing masks
They're
too.
doing masks and all.
My friend, the youths of Trinidad and Tobago is full of vibes in Finafil. We are going to watch more. We are going to see what the youths they have been creating and how was our last YPG, especially here in our national headquarters. Today, the topic of the program is the block life. By the way, what does it mean, block life, for you?
To me, Pastor, it means that persons that they don't have an opportunity, or they only grasp the opportunity to be around the neighborhood or to find the people that actually giving them the attention. Because we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth later on. But it's more about persons that they don't actually go out, but they just tend to try to get things easier in life, so to speak.
And you know what's look like, Pastor Jude, it seems like when a youth, they go to the block, it seems like they will never come out to that environment or that kind of life. By the way, we are not criticized that, but you know that in the block we can find all kind of things. Yes or no? Do you agree?
Yeah, for true, Pastor, because I was kind of like a victim of it. You understand? Because I began, going here for the drug push, and I began buying food, buying drinks, something small, until it reached to holding cigarettes, holding this, holding that, been calling names, as we say, been criticizing anyone. But it always starts small. As we say, the block life is a life where you think that, you have nowhere else, you have nobody else, so therefore you go for the easy way. You go for the way that you think best, easier.
We have a video, actually is a testimony how this gentleman, he got into the block until he turned into a drug dealer. But something happened to him. So before you share more your story of life, let us watch now this video, and I'll be back with you in a few.
I remember literally every day after school, when I would walk up to the door and turn the doorknob, I would literally sigh every day before. I would open as just, okay. What am I going to walk into?
Things were much different now for Damian Jackson. His family had lived well in Miami, a lifestyle paid for by his mom's job with the mafia. But when she started feeling pressure by the police, they fled to a poor neighborhood in Georgia when Damian was 7.
I didn't see my dad around unless he was at home beating us. I want to talk to mom. No, but she's there drunk. She's there popping Percocets and pain pills. She'd say, I hate you. I wish I never had you. I should have just shoved you back up inside of me when you came out. You should have died.
his sense of worth diminishing, Damien started getting into fights, taking his anger out on others.
I felt kind of like I was imposing my will on them. It's like, now they feel pain. I'm not nothing. I can beat this person. I can beat that person.
He also started smoking marijuana.
Get high, stay high, and just don't think about life. I didn't like to sit back and think how messed up my family was.
Then, when Damien was a teenager, his father announced he was gay and no longer wanted a family. Damien's mother took the kids and moved in with another man, but he didn't want a family either.
He would be so nasty. He would complain about everything. Until one day, he said to my mom, I'm sick of this. I don't want them here. You have a choice. Either they go or you go. And my mom, she just lowered her head and said, sorry, y'all have to go. A door opened for darkness, and I just went and said, I'm unloved, no one cares about me, so I'm gonna keep going until I die. Someone's gonna kill me, and then this life will be over.
Forced to live on the streets, Damien dropped out of school and started selling drugs. He also joined a gang that, at first, felt like the family he never had.
You laugh, you get high, you drink, you rap, you make jokes, you go to parties, you talk together. But then, when the other side of it comes in, is when you start to realize, no, this is serious. When you're getting shot at, when people are trying to kill you. I was actually sure my entire life that I would die before 18.
At one point, he decided it would be better if he took a handgun and did it himself. But someone walked in before he could pull the trigger.
My parents didn't care, my sisters didn't care, brothers, uncles, no one. That's where I was at. It's like, it was a day-to-day. I'd just rather die than to live like this.
After 2 years living on the street, Damien was arrested and found guilty for attacking an undercover cop. At 16 years old and facing 5 years in prison, he asked for help from someone he'd reached out to before.
And I always said that little quick, like, oh God, help me get out of here, kind of thing. But I think this time, sincerely, the difference was, I had had enough. I said, Lord, if you are real, help me this time, because I need to see a sign. If you get me out of here, that's gonna be my sign to me that you are real. And I promise you, I'm gonna do my part.
Then, instead of pushing for jail time, prosecution recommended Damien be put on probation. The judge agreed and ordered Damien to go live with his father.
That was the first time I saw God work in my favor. I'm like, okay, I think this is my miracle.
Away from the gang and drugs, Damien bought a Bible and started reading, but he still felt something was missing.
I said, how can God accept me and forgive me after everything I've done? I knew that maybe I had a chance, but it's like an inner battle. When he helped me get out of jail, I knew, okay, this had to be God. But that didn't make me feel like, okay, I'm forgiven and I'm saved, I'm welcome. I still wrestled every day with the things I've done.
At church, a pastor started teaching him about God's love and forgiveness, but even then he found it hard to accept.
Every week I would ask him, man, because it's like I wasn't believing that he had accepted me yet and that I was really his. I realized I couldn't just expect for everything to automatically feel perfect. I had to believe. I had to believe that he forgave me. That was when I said, God, I'm no longer in this gang. I'm done with this. I am not doing this anymore. I'm yours. And I want more of you and less of me from now on. And I'm gonna pursue you, and I'm gonna get closer to you, and I'm gonna bring you to this whole world.
Having accepted God's forgiveness, Damien was able to forgive his parents and himself for his past life. At 21, he became a pastor in order to fulfill his promise to God.
I don't look at the world and say, oh, this person's so bad, they're so evil, they're so this. But if they had God in their life, then they could change. See, God didn't look at me the way people did. They saw a criminal, a gangbanger, a thug, a dangerous guy. God looked at me and saw a hurt child, a hurt soul. I had to find my peace and my happiness in Jesus. I had to realize his love is enough.
Okay, so as you guys saw the testimony of the gentleman just now, he talked a lot and he talked about many different areas. Now I know, Judah, we don't have the mafia down here and we don't have them kind of thing, but we still have certain things that youth does face. Because just like I was saying before, I remember where I grew up. I remember I always used to see these fellas that I grew up with. They always used to stay close to these bad boys in the neighborhood and always waiting for somebody to tell them, all right, go and buy this for me, because they know when they get sent out, they're going to keep the change. I don't know if that is what went on with you.
For real, because it's like, why the reason that they send the ones that are innocent out? You understand? It's because of the fact that, you know, some of them, they can't even leave where they are. They are isolated right there, because if they step out of the boundary, step out of the block, something different could occur. You understand? So they used to send, as we used to say, the minions out to achieve this, to get that. You understand? Because there was a fear inside of that block. There was a fear inside of that block where when you send out, when you go out for yourself, there is a fear. You're studying who gonna come here, who gonna go there, you understand?
It's like
so there was a fear. Yeah, a limitation. It was limited. So therefore, I was a victim of it. And also, family members I had was victim of it also. And today, because of, you know, me setting myself aside, because of, you know, me taking a different path, moving away from the environment, from the block, I was able now to find something different. I don't know now, you know, for my family members, but what I can say is, if you are watching this, anyone that is on the block, anyone that is inferior of what you are or what you are in, the situation that you are in on the block, please, let's make a different step. Let's make a different move.
But before you go there, you keep saying that you was a victim of it, so to speak. But when you was there in the moment, you used to feel bad, you used to feel sad, you used to feel rejected, you used to feel like, you know, I'm not supposed to be doing this, or you used to feel good?
Basically, that's a good question, because I was the type of person, I was a people pleaser then. I was the kind of person to make the bigger heads laugh, to make the fellas laugh, you know. So I used to be there, you know.
Welcome.
Yeah, I used to feel welcome, of course, because that times I didn't have money to go to school, to give me a little thing, to give me a little change. You know, you buy a little KFC, but that's how the things go. Sometimes I used to feel uncomfortable because of it, because sometimes the things that I used to see and used to be around, I used to feel like, you know, if something go happen now, or if they're gonna do something now, it used to be real uncomfortable. But I used to do it just because, you know, the family feeling. Only guys, you know the thing to do? Yeah?
No.
Yeah, I don't
He
know.
used to do it because he used to feel welcome, he used to feel good. Okay? But it's an interesting thing that you brought up there, because you was almost like continuing going deeper into the cycle, so to speak. And that's actually what we're going to talk about right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the segment that we're going to now. Somebody want to introduce it, but we're not going to allow that. So y'all know where we're going. We're going straight on the block with the teacher.
Are you ready to give up the block life? It's time for a new life, filled with the Holy Spirit. And function as a servant of God. Call us on 387-9144.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Teacher on the Block. So, as Sarafina and Judah were saying, block life is a vicious cycle. A what? a vicious cycle. Look with me. First, we start with the youth. That youth, the other part of the cycle is poverty, rejection, disappointment, loneliness, hurt. What's the second part of that cycle? Of course, the block. When a youth goes on the block, what do you get from that? You get the support, you get belonging, you get security, financial and emotional. But what's the price that you pay for that? You start with favors, small favors, as Judah was saying earlier on. You start dropping off this, dropping off that. Eventually, you're in a life of crime. And you're asking yourself, how did I end up there? How did this happen to me? You didn't recognize the cycle. You didn't recognize what was happening in the cycle. Again, block life is a vicious cycle. However, being on the block doesn't have to be a negative thing. Why? Where am I? On the block. Where's the teacher? On the block. I want you to join us this Sunday. Join the teacher, join the YPG on the block. YPG on the block this Sunday at the link you're seeing at the bottom, and we will show you how to truly live a positive block life. Teacher out.
So yes, teach, thanks for the input. And youths, as the teacher was saying, you know, take this different move. Don't be part of this cycle. You understand? And we see in the background here that Serafina dancing. But before we go to why Serafina is dancing, we want to add this. At this number that you see below, 387-9144, you can message us on WhatsApp asking us for the Zoom link to see what we have this coming Sunday. So Serafina, tell us now, why are you dancing so much? Explain to us.
It's just like I was telling Kevin in the last program. It's the vibe that naturally flows from us, you know? So since last week, you know, we got this vibe, we got this whole thing. All over and see it just now, eh? But since then, the vibe just stay. And just doing the dance. What about at home? On the earth.
That's it. What dance is that?
On the earth. 1, 2. And you switch, you know? So take a video now and see
I
what
don't
we
think
did
I have
last
it ever
week.
there.
Never have it. But yeah. Watch what
Let's go.
Watch what we do last week, Sunday. Catch the vibe. And if you think you can do it better, take a video. Record yourself doing the dance, record yourself doing the little chants where you're going and see just now. And send it to us. Maybe you never know. Maybe they might be on the program.
Think about telling Sando to try and get this challenge going.
So why have to be Sando?
Huh?
We are Shogunas.
Because
we are Marima. We are Princess.
I'm from Sando. I know the talent Sando have, you know. But that small thing, let's go.
Any youths that out there, it don't matter where you're from, it could be Sando, alright, but it don't matter where you're from. Take a look at the video from what we did last week, Sunday, see if you can do it better and send us your video.
The only person who can take pictures is me. Nobody can take pictures. Nobody else. No picture, no video, only me. She's hypnotizing them. She's turning them around. One, two, three, four. Oh, hey. Mami,